What's good, y'all? My name is Rorvis Paradox, aka Docs Brando, and I'd like to walk you all to another episode of Rorvis Reviews. Got another good episode for y'all, something different, something that I think it's gonna be a good message for a lot of people. So please enjoy the two films I got in store to talk about today. Make sure you're helping with the 500 goals, 500 subscriber goal. So like, comment, and share with all people that you think will enjoy this type of content. Make sure that you're following me on at IG at DocsBrando25 to stay up to date. Make sure you hit that notification bell on YouTube. And with all that being said, let's get into it. Now, the first film I want to talk about is 2006's The Devil Wears Prada, directed by David Frankel. Now, fellas, you see this film, right? Now, I want you to look at me, like really look in my eyes, right? Do you like Whiplash? You do, right? You know the film with, J.K. Simmons as Fletcher. That film right there? If you like that film, you're going to love this film because it's basically the same premise. Don't let the stilettos fool you, fellas. This film is not just about fashion. I once too was very hesitant to watch this film. I definitely remember seeing this poster and like the actors and actresses in this film when my sister used to watch this film. But this film right here is something very special. This film is about the story of Andrea Andy Sachs. She is a journalist that's a fresh college grad, as she just moves to New York, and she gets a job as the junior assistant for the editor-in-chief of a modeling magazine named Miranda Presley. Now, Miranda Presley is the devil wears Prada in a sense. She is the head honcho. She is everything that moves. Everything that moves in fashion goes through her, and just her mere presence scares her staff. Like, just in the first 5 minutes, you can see, well, first 5 to 10 minutes, you can see how insanely scared people are of her. As soon as she just like, as soon as they know she's on the way, everyone's changing into stilettos. They're getting rid of food. They're cleaning themselves, doing makeup, everything to make sure everything is perfect for her arrival, because she will be hypercritical of you if everything is not in place. Now, you get Andy in this position, and she's someone who's never really cared about fashion and thinks they're snobs or some type of way, and thinks it doesn't really matter. And based on how she dressed, she's very casual, very comfortable person that tries to like, her fashion sense is like she's supposed to be down to earth, and it's not like she's trying to. It's just like that's her personality. But when she enters this world where she kind of thinks that they're going crazy for no reason, Miranda gets on her ass about it and gives her a quick expedition dump, because Andy doesn't really understand fashion, doesn't really know. So she does a specific thing about like something about what her sweater, who created her sweater, and how they like kind of just fell down to her. And as she's doing that, she's also helped putting together an ensemble for a soon to be for a model. Now, what's crazy about this is, she's doing this to berate her. She's dealing with gaslighting. Andy's dealing with gaslighting from Miranda. She's dealing with manipulation. It's crazy because in this film, we all know what Anne Hathaway looks like. Anne Hathaway plays Andy. There's not one lick of fat on her. We all know that. But in this film, everyone is calling her fat because she's a size 6. And there's a point in the film where the character Nigel tells her, you're like, yeah, 2 is the new 4, 4 is the new 6. And she's like, but I'm a 6. Well, 6 is the new 14. And it's just like, whoa, wait, what? Whoa, what are we talking about? Like, we're gonna say she's fat? Are we dead serious? But that's neither here nor there. So she's dealing with being called fat, ugly, She gets called smart, but it doesn't really matter when every other insult is getting thrown at you. They clown her for her fashion sense or lack of fashion sense, as Miranda says that she has no style, and then he tries to fight back, say, that's kind of subjective. And she said, no, that wasn't a question, that was rhetorical. Like, you don't got shit. And like the way she be looking up and down on her, like, I know y'all seen the gift, bro. Like, it's Miranda be letting her have it. And as she's going through this, we can slowly, well, before we see her transformation and like how she starts to adapt to this world, she goes to Nigel, and Nigel becomes her wise man. And he's trying to enlighten her because she made it clearly known that she wasn't really taking it serious. Like, this was just supposed to be a job, and she doesn't really care, and she's just trying to do it just to last a year where she can, hop onto the next opportunity that approaches her. And Nigel's all like, a lot of women were killed for this job, and there are people whose livelihood are not only at stake, but they live and die fashion. Like, they push forward the culture with fashion. They try to make their mark, express their art, and she kind of just like treats it like it's nothing. And she goes to him complaining about how it's harsh and how Miranda's being so mean to her, but he's all like, she's just doing her job, and you're not. She said, and Andy said she thought she was doing enough, and in all honestly, she was just doing the bare minimum, trying to just move forward. Now, was there a lot of things and tasks that Miranda's throwing at her? Absolutely, and it is kind of crazy, but this is the role you accepted. Everyone is telling her you don't have to stay. You literally don't fit the mold. So after Nigel gives her a fashion upgrade, and she comes in like a brand new woman, and she starts to conform. She starts to fit the mold of what Miranda wants as from an employee and the rest of the culture. And what's really interesting is, there's an excellent transition of showing the different outfits that she's wearing day by day by day, and months are going by now. And Anne Hathaway is working it. Great outfits, each of them. And there comes one where she's setting up Miranda's office for her, the water, magazines, everything. And then as Miranda's walking in, she gives her the look up and down, and usually she has this look of disgust when she looks up and down at Andy. But this time, for the first time, she looks at her with a sense of approval. Like, she's proud that she's taking care of herself and changing her image, that she's really trying to realize what Miranda was trying to say about her outfits. And that's about where I kind of want to stop when talking about the film. I definitely want y'all to check this film out if you haven't already. Again, fellas, when I'm telling you, if you like Whiplash, you'll like this film. Honestly, they're both. Oh, I can't get to that point. Let me talk about the highlights, and I'll talk about how. Well, I'll rate this film later. Now, what I first want to talk about is how it encapsulates the time for this era. I think the early 2000s to the late 2010s, if I'm not mistaken, this is just from my headspace. This is where, women were being told that they have to be super fucking skinny to be beautiful, or if they want to be models in, in publications and all that. And I think, just from my own preference, all sizes are great, and no woman should have to conform and like hate themselves to change their bodies to become the image of beauty. And what's crazy is within the film, there comes a dialogue between this character Emily and Andy, where they're coming to an event, and she's like, yeah, I've been sick, but I still come to work trying to bust my ass. I haven't eaten. I'm on this diet where I don't eat, and if I get hungry, I eat a single cube of cheese. And just the thought of that, because I know that's based off of something real. Some model somewhere back in the day had to think that was the way to live, just to be beautiful, and that's horrific. But I think what this film does is really show what they were going through at the time. And it really enlightens me to what was going on, and I appreciate that perspective of the beauty standard that men don't really have to go through, you know. But I really appreciate that, as well as, you know, the fashion, and then learning about the lore of fashion. As I say, I think what this film does a great job is not like every time they talk about certain things, it's just like an overload of information. When they talk about certain things, it's important and it's necessary because Andy is completely clueless about the fashion world. So every time she's learning something, we're learning something, and it's not excessive. It's just the right amount. When Miranda was talking about some the history of that sweater that she wore and like where it came, like the whole lineage, it was just for that particular moment to enlighten Andy, the audience, and to also attack her. But what she also said in that same point was basically everyone in this room is the reason why you dress the way you dress. Meaning, Miranda controls Andy, which is something that we see throughout the film of how she's puppeteering her to become who she want Andy to be. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the story and the characters. I feel like every plot point, every character, the flow of the story is perfect. I'm locked in from the jump because from the opening scene, we're seeing how different Andy prepares for the day getting dressed compared to all the women that she's about to be surrounded by. And it was just very interesting. And then, you know, you see what she eats, we're seeing how she talks, we're seeing what she thinks about herself. Everything starts off very fast, not fast, but like well paced. And even within the first 10 minutes, they already talking crazy about her. And I was like, bro, is Anne Hathaway gonna be called fat and ugly the whole movie? Like, what the fuck? But I was locked in from the jump, and then just the interaction between characters, everything just clicked, and it was very satisfying seeing them play together. Now, with me talking about the characters, I must talk about the cast in this film. Must stop with the top. Meryl Streep as Miranda Presley. God bless her. God bless this woman. This was an excellent performance. There was so much that she gave in this film, and I feel like some of the best parts of this film is when Miranda, who is usually very cold, brutal, and very cut off, like she don't really show any other emotion besides, actually no, she don't show no emotion. All she does is kind of attack, be direct, and be excellent in her craft. But those moments of weakness, those weak moments we got to see on film, some of the best acting I got to see in a while. I think some of those moments that Andy had to see her at her lowest, and you just see the look in Meryl Streep and Miranda's eyes, and just how she talks. But even when she's going through something horrible, something that's just depressing, she presses on and goes further into her work, and that's kind of how she's always lived. And it's something that Andy sees as, oh my god, I'm become I it's a problem, like that could be her future type of ordeal. And me talking about Andy, having to talk about Anne Hathaway. Whew, my god, this is such a great performance from her. Her having to show all these different emotions of being berated, being attacked, starting to enjoy the positive side of being in this lifestyle, being in this occupation, and the opportunities that's starting to be available to her, the people that she's being surrounded by, and then feeling disrespected by her friends, her loved ones. Anne Hathaway put her all, like her and Meryl Streep, like it was like Shaq and Kobe for this film. So my nods, my kudos to them for this film, for these roles. Emily Blunt as Emily Charlton. Her role was to be like the midpoint of what Andy could be, and what like and where Miranda was. She was like the litmus test because she was very mean to her, and Emily Blunt did an excellent job of being the mean girl. But like those moments of weakness, those moments, the slight moment of joy towards the end of the movie, and respect that she has for Andy, excellent performance for Emily Blunt. Stanley Tucci as Nigel Kipling. He was the wise man character, and again, another excellent performance. He did a great job of expedition of kind of just laying it out for Andy that this means something to me. I was the youngest of six siblings. I would have to hide the fact that what I was interested in, who I was, and this magazine meant the world to me. This was his escape, and to her to belittle the industry that she's kind of just stepping into willy nilly, he feels some type of way because this is his livelihood. And there comes moments later into the film where he expresses an excellent high and low lows, and excellent performance for Stanley Tucci. I can't even speak anymore. You have to just watch this performance. Simon Baker as Christian Thompson is excellent. Definitely kind of this suave guy who's kind of just like the love interest for Andy, who's now into this world, and he just sees so much into her, and he's just pressing on. And mind you, she has a man, and he's just like, he's a bum. Come along with me. Like, terrible. But the interaction between both, always excellent on camera. I want to talk about the friend group / boyfriend that she has. Nate Cooper be played by Adrian Greener, Tracy Thomas as Lily, and Rich Sommer as Doug. When all four of them were on camera very early, they were able to really portray what friendship looks like. It felt very genuine with the interactions, and how sometimes as she's getting higher up the chain and she's adapting and she's starting to be excellent at her job, her friends are kind of not taking her serious because she wasn't serious about the industry, and she's over here like frantic. Like, they don't really understand what she's been going through and how she's been able to adapt, and how she's like at the beck and call of Miranda, but they think it's funny to make fun of her, and then they're not really. They keep saying that she's changed for the worse, or like she's not who she was, but like she's just trying to do her best. But I think all of them did a great job of playing these roles, especially Adrian Greener as Nate Cooper as her boyfriend. Just some people can't handle when their significant others is doing well, and it takes away time from their relationship, and that's real. And he was able to portray that. Now, was the character in the film, was he kind of whiny about it? Yeah, not gonna lie, but that's a genuine reaction that some people feel when these things happen. So excellent performance overall from all these actors and actresses. Cinematography was great. I think they definitely just made everyone look great on camera. Every moment, everything just was perfection. And then, like I said earlier, the transition edit we see as Andy's going through these different outfits, and that also goes for Miranda. Each time she's coming into the office, brand new fit, brand new whip, brand new coat, brand new purse. Everything is just, T's across, I's are dotted, perfection. And all the outfits in this film, magnificent. All in all, I'm giving this film 5 stars. This was definitely one of my favorite watches of the year, and highly recommend that y'all check it out if y'all haven't already. Now, the next film I want to talk about is 2023's Barbie, directed by Greta Gerwig. Now, this film was a shocker. Honestly, this film was way better than what I was expecting, and I think that was a lot of people initial thoughts on the film. We all know about Barbenheimer and how this film was premiering the same time as Oppenheimer, back to back, and we all thought that Christopher Nolan was going to drop a great film like he usually does. He did, but the surprise was how much Barbie really matched the energy of Oppenheimer, like from almost every standpoint of what I would think a good to great film needs. It met it, and that goes from how it's directed, from how it was written, to the performances, everything. I really enjoyed this film. Now, this film is about Barbie, or how most in universe would talk about her, stereotypical Barbie. Kind of like the greatest Barbie that ever lived type of ordeal, and how she's going through a midlife crisis. The film opens up with the obligatory reference to a 2001 A Space Odyssey, and how, Barbie's really changed everything for girls. And the film is not wrong. We're talking about one of the highest selling toys of all time. We're talking about a toy that could be seen in almost every girl's bedroom from for many years, honestly. Probably still to this day, that you can still find a child with a Barbie, and how it impacted their lives. And the film goes on to say, we have all these types of Barbies: President Barbie, Judge Barbie, all these types of Barbies. And it's supposed to, in the Barbie world, and well, in Barbie land, that's what it's called. This is like the norm. It's a matriarchy. It's, women in charge, women empowerment, and everything is great for them. And then, the Kens, all the different types, all do what Ken do, and look, just arm candy, try to get the attention of Barbies. And then you have the different types of discontinued Barbie toys. So, weird Barbie, who's just not even a particular toy, is just outside in the real world. Her child kind of just went havoc, drew on her. We all know those types of children that like to draw on their toys, ruin the hair, all that types of stuff. And the other types of characters. And then, there's Alan, played by Michael Cera, who one of a kind. And he's just Alan. Just Alan. Now, as we get in this introduction to the world, it's really, the Barbie land layout is honestly astonishing. I think they get an intricate job of making this set design look just like a toy. Like, if this was a commercial for a toy, like literally like a Mattel commercial you'll see back when you were a child, this is what this world looks like. And I'm gonna talk about it more in the highlights, but this is perfection. And then we just getting what stereotypical Barbie's days usually like: just wake up, beautiful, do everything, eat her breakfast, everything's just going smooth as she going on. The song is like just narrating what she's going through. Everything's perfect. She waving at everybody, feeling good. Comes over, has a dance party with her friends, ends the night with the girls' night. But like before the night's over, like everybody's dancing, just vibing. She goes, "Yeah, anybody think about killing themselves, just ending it all?" Everybody's like, "What?" And she's like, just kidding. The song starts playing again. And then the next day, just like everything's going bad. Nothing, she's not perfect anymore. And she goes to Weird Barbie, like, "Bro, what is wrong with me? Like, this is, what's going on?" And she's like, "Hey, your girl outside, the one who used to be your owner, going through some stuff. You need to correct what's going on out there to get things right back here." And as this is going on, Ken is, still trying to woo her. And, each time he tries to take the relationship further than just, well, Barbie keeps it as friends. He sees them more as friends. And every time he gets shut down, boom, boom, boom. And that's going to lead to something later in the film. Now they go into the real universe, and it is not at all what Barbie thought. And there's a lot of comedy that ensues from this, this disconnect of what she expected the real world to be based off of her impact. She thought, yeah, women in charge, women up front, men, in their place, not disrespecting all that. And she immediately gets catcalled, socks a dude, and then gets gets locked up. Mugshots, hilarious, just. And honestly, that's kind of where I want to stop talking about what the plot is of the film. If you haven't checked this film out already, definitely check it out. But I kind of want to get into more of the highlights of the film. Starting off, like I said, the visuals of Barbie Land, stellar, impressive. Even the costume designs look like, each of them definitely looks like, they look like straight off the box. And these are real people. perfection. The use of humor in this film, I think the laughs 9 out of 10 hit pretty well. If they fell flat, they kind of fell flat, but for the most part, I was thoroughly entertained with this film. I was laughing pretty hard at it, and not just the use of humor, but the use how it created some tension, some drama. You really felt for how Barbie was feeling, how the girl that used to be her owner become the woman that she is, going through her own existential crisis with her daughter, with her job, her role in life. Everyone, is going through something. I think that's what this film does a great job at, is that, you know, on the outside, it may be, a Barbie film, but there's so much more going on. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that if they just dig a little deeper. Um, from the cast, Margaret Robbie as Barbie, excellent. Margot Robbie always does a great job, but this one she really nails it, knocks it out the park. There was so much different emotional range that she gave for this film, and just seeing her break down, everything just lined up. Ryan Gosling as Ken, we already know he was. Ryan Gosling's already a great actor, but he definitely did an excellent job with this role. He had fun, and it was just there's no real nothing else I can say honestly besides he just did an excellent job as per usual. Um, America Ferrera as Gloria. This is the woman that is going through her own existential crisis that's causing it for Barbie. She did a great role, and then along with who played her daughter, Sasha, Ariana Greenblatt. All the chemistry between her and Barbie, the three of them just built something very interesting, and it was just great for the film. And then again, Michael Cera as Alan. He's just having a good time out there, and it was just like a very small role for him, but it's fun nonetheless. Overall, I'm gonna give the film 4.5 stars. Definitely check it out. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and this is definitely there's a reason why it was up for Best Picture, and well deserved for that time. And can't wait to see what else happens from Margot Robbie or from Greta Gerwig, or if they're gonna make this its own little cinematic universe. Who knows? But again, 4.5 stars. Definitely check it out. Now, the reason I've dubbed this film E for Everyone is because I feel that for too long we have allowed certain things to stop us to watch certain films, and I mean us as the general public, but as well as just men. I think that just because a film looks like it's more pertained to women does not mean it's not something for you to enjoy. There's so much more to both of these films, and these stories are so well told, so well performed, that it's a disservice not to even give these films a chance. Just because you to watch a film that may have the background of what you think the film is about is like for fashion, or it's just Barbie dolls. These films are about existential crisis, identity, conforming. There's so much different layers to these films, and the fact that you may think that, oh, those are for the girls and the gays to watch. It's just like, bro, you're stopping yourself from peak cinema. You're enjoying yourself from something you might enjoy, something that you might even relate to. I know for myself that I've heard great things about The Devil Wears Prada, but it took years for me to really kind of get in the right mindset to be like, it's about time I watched this film. There must be a reason why a lot of people think about it and speak highly of it. And with me watching Barbie and some other films, it's just like, why haven't I watched it already? I gave it a chance, and then this is like, again, I said it was like one of my favorite watches of this year, and shoot, I'm stand on it. It's just excellent. And that's also how I felt about Barbie when I watched it late last year. These films are just great films, and we shouldn't let gender gender identity, gender norms, gender stereotypes stop us from enjoying things that might be great for everyone. Now, please make sure you watch these films and check them out, and look past what you think films may be about. Don't let what you think, like the outer image, Don't let sexuality, don't let gender, don't let religion, don't let anything stop you from watching a film that could be in your all-time greats, in your all-time favorites list. Why would you do that to yourself? Now, well, that being said, did you read what I said about both of these films? Have you watched Devil Wears Prada? Do you agree with how Miranda treated her, or what are your takes on it? Is this film, you know, a film that you think could be one of the greats? Do you feel some type of way about Barbie? Should have won Best Picture? Any of these types of comments, feedback, please drop in the comments below, because I definitely want to chop it up with y'all. This has been Rorvis Paradox with Rorvis Reviews, and I'll see you again next week. Peace.